everybody, back to this base which I was doing. I'm now at the spray booth, so I'm going to get this undercoated and zenithal highlighted, ready for a further airbrush in certain areas, just to get it looking snazzy and like covered in blood. Right, so let's get this sprayed. First undercoat is black, which I'll show you is the Vallejo Air black paint. Now I haven't put any thinners in to help this, because it does work pretty much straight from the bottle. Probably could actually, because I use a double. I got like a regulator at the back that allows me to adjust how much paint's flowing through. I'll probably see that's here on nice and black. Oh, we're running out. It's the trouble when you do the paint with the regulator sort of on a large amount of paint coming out, so you run out of paint quite quickly, so just be mindful of that. But because it's such a large area, that's why I'm doing it. Oh, sorry, something's just fell off. That's my airbrush kicking in. It's just wobbled this little measuring gauge.
Come on, hurry up, will ya?
First coat. Next will be the a gold grey from Vallejo, which is that one there. What I'm going to do is zenithal from the top down onto that part. So I'm just going to turn off the video for just a second while I just change the paint. We are back now at the spray booth, and we're going to do, as you see there, we've just painted it black. Some of the paint has separated on the hot glue that's representing the blood. That isn't a problem. We can always get back to that by painting it on, so it's not an issue. We'll just carry on spraying, and we'll just hope for the best that that gets covered. If it doesn't, it's no problem. It can be sorted on the paint table. But further ado, let's get on with it then. Right, so we're going to do a zenithal from the top. I'm looking, when we think of the blood, weirdly, I feel that I want the blood to sort of glow to a degree. I don't know, well, blood doesn't glow, we all know that, but I think, being as it's like chaos and it's weird and it's freaky and it's from another like realm of weird magicy, timey-wimey, weirdy stuff, I want to get that blood to glow in a weird magic way. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do all of the area that's going to be blood without even thinking about it. In fact, I'm going to change the regulator so it's going to blast lots of paint out. We can still keep the shadows, but we want it to look a bit more whiter, brighter than the rocks do. Sorry, that's my pump just putting some air in now, so if you can't hear me, I'll try and speak a bit louder. As you can see, look, that's getting nice and bright, but we're leaving shadows. We are leaving shadows. Then the top, as what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the regulator so it's just a tiny amount of paint, and I'm just going to do a very light dusting over the top. being careful not to touch the back, so you want to keep that black. Again, this is the blood, so we want to make that lighter. Sorry if it's going in and out of focus. I am new to this. So as you can see, I'm just letting that blood, I'm going to where the blood's flowing, I'm going to just carefully, in fact I'll change the regulator.
Warp speed.
See, it's separating again, but it's okay. Just keep spraying it. There's a little one there that I've missed. I've also missed this bit, which is where the blood goes down. Sometimes I let my airbrush, just by pressing down, letting the air flow through, does a little bit of a dry. Help fast, make the drying part faster. In fact, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'll put a bit more zenithal on the skulls. As you can see, the skulls there. What I should do is and from the back, because the blood will be flowing.
Bloody stream, the faster we go. Woohoo!
Trying to dry up that splodge in the middle, as it's separating on the blue. That will take eventually. Personally, I feel that that's ready for its colour to kick in, of which I'm going to do the red for the blood, and I'll do that in the next video. Alright, so that's the end of this section. On to the next one. Right, we're back to the base. Having a good think about how I want to go about this. Like I said at the beginning, I'm really doing, this is just a test, really. All of what I'm doing today is new to me, so I'm giving it my all, but also I will be susceptible to mistakes due to the fact that, like, I'm doing little test ways of painting. Now, with this particular thing, I've got to try and get like a blood effect. So something in my weird, crazy art mind, I feel that just going with straightforward Vallejo red, I feel that with blood, because it has, when you look at it, sometimes it has that sort of like a tint of sort of an orangey tint to blood, and a yellowy sort of dry. Is that the right word? I don't know. But like, it just has like a funny sort of like yellowy tint to it when it's like quite thin. So I want to just try this first. What I'm going to do is I'm putting on, I've got some yellow, Zealot yellow from Army Painter, which is a speed paint range from them, and I'm just going to do a kind of a dusting of yellow. I've turned off the high velocity of paint pumping through, and I'm just going to give it, it's just a tiny little, just a little bit, see, Okay, that's all I want to do, is just add that. I'm going to do it to the blood streaks. Don't worry about it overspraying into the white bits. It'll all get covered and finished. Sorry for the pump. And then again on the blood splatter. Now one thing I forgot to do is do the stem. I think I might have to repaint there. I'll just leave it like that for now. Oh, I've gone a bit too much there. Hey ho. Right. Let's leave it at that. That's enough. And now we'll get the red onto the red. Red's in the pot. Let's get it on. And at this point, you probably think, why the hell did he bother with that yellow? I don't know, I think it's. I feel like it's added something to it, but I don't know. Well, this is where we do one really thick now, try and get that bloody look. Blood for the blood god.
Wake up, get up in the morning and put on the makeup. Why have you got your feet up on the table? Oh yeah.
Okay, so there we have it. Blood spilling over into the sea of blood. And what I'll do is, with those little yellow overspills, or oversprays, I shall clean them up in the painting step of when we do the rock. And that should look quite smart. And then obviously I'm going to highlight all the blood and do the skulls and whatnot, but I should do that on the painting table. Let's, just before we go, let's just do that stem. I think it'll cover alright. Yeah, boy. It's covering. There we go. Blood trickling down from the guy's foot. Some of these edges. Okay, that's better. Jolly good. I'm really pleased with that. Wicked. Right, I'll see you at the painting table. Hi everyone, I'm back at the painting table. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to now darken down some of that, some of the rock area, because we want it to look nice and dark colour. Let's get some grey. I'm going to use contrast basilicum grey. Add a bit of water to it. And then we're going to try and darken down the underneath of this rock here. Don't worry about getting it on the skulls or anywhere that you don't want it. It doesn't matter. It all joins together eventually. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. By doing this then, it's sort of defining where the rock is, as opposed to where the blood starts. Now, some of these areas maybe have a bit too much sort of blood to them, but we want to make it glow, so it doesn't matter, so you can get that sort of glow of the weird glowing blood showing up on the bottom of the rocks, or on the underneath of the rocks.
Oh no, we're going fast again. Slow down, you're overheating.
A bit more to that face. See, it was a bit overly sprayed. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Now there's this overspill here. I'll try and get that rubbed out. I won't with the contrast paint, but if I darken it down, it'll help when highlighting it back up again. In fact, I think we need to just darken down all the rock surfaces. Don't know where that come from. I don't know where that come from. This for did say he wanted to keep his rocks in a dark, because on his other bases for his smaller stuff he has like a blackish sort of slate coloured rock, so he wants to keep the rocks looking dark, because now a dark black. Now if I was doing rocks for myself or whatever, I would basically add elements of green in there to make it look more natural, giving it a sort of in the elements look, which is what happens to rocks. But on this occasion I'm avoiding that, because he wants to keep the black of his rock. Going throughout his models like uniform, so that's why I'm doing that, but I'll still do me like highlight nonetheless. Doing a bit more, and I think that's about right with that step. What I might add is a bit of what's it called? Might add a wash of Agrax Earthshade. Now I want to add some of this to the actual blood. I just want to see what it does. If it don't look right, then I can just wash it off, because I want to do some recessing of that. Looks a bit dark. Maybe if I do more of a, yeah, I think that's what I need to do. Perhaps combine it with where's my sepia? If I can find it. There we go. sepia there. Trying to wash it over with. Oop, whoops, a daisy. Let's do a sepia wash over the blood. Let's see what that does. In fact, I'll start at the drip. Yep, that's how I wanted it to go. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. You might be thinking, well, what's he on about? But I want that sort of tinge. Now, I've noticed there, look, you're getting a bit of separation of the, because I'm washing, you're getting spotting from the colour underneath on the blood bits. It's not a problem, we can fix that. Keep washing it over, all over the bloodied areas. Don't have to water this down, just bring it straight on. Might do some recesses with the rock actually. I think I can't help it. It needs a bit of change from grey to make it look a bit more realistic. I think that adds quite a nice texture to it. Right, now we need to go over all this area with blood. I keep saying that. It's getting there. What do you think? Put some comments in. Let me know. Think it's over the top? Think it's stupid? Think it's I don't know. If you've got any comments on it, just put it in the chat. I'd love to see your and I'm open to I am open to criticism. It's not no problem. It's all a learning curve. Yeah, so let that dry and then we'll do some highlighting. Cheerio, back to the painting table. As you can see, it's getting quite cluttered now. I am terribly messy when I'm really in the zone of painting. So apologies if you all think, why doesn't he clean his stuff up? Well, I'm just messy. It's my downfall. Just move some of them out of the way. Now, we're going to do, I'm sort of waiting for the blood to dry on that last highlight that I did. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to concentrate on the rocks and the skulls. Now, this is going to take some dry brushing. Brushes I use for dry brushing, and I'll say it, whether I get slandered I don't know, but I'll say that I always use these Army Painter ones. Army Painter brushes are just perfect. Sorry, knocking the camera there. They're perfect brushes for dry brushing. These are a bit stained because, like, for constant use that I've used them over the years. Now there are some better brushes on the market, which is the I think the Opus. Is it the Opus? I can't remember now. But there are other expensive ones, but personally, I mean, I've never used the most expensive ones, so I don't really know what they're like. But people do swear by them. I use these ones because I feel that for the cost, I mean, I batter these to hell. I really use them. sometimes they don't get clean right. It's at the end of the day, I'm just an artist wanting to just paint, so I ain't got time to sort of be too anal about wanting to keep my brushes perfect. So I'll recommend these ones. If you go for the more expensive ones, then go for it, but I use these ones because they're cheaper, they do the same effect, I swear by them, they don't let you down, so it's worthwhile using these. Anyway, enough waffling. I'm going to dry brush the rocks now. I wanted to use a bigger one, but I think for the little sections, it's not a lot of room without touching the blood and the skulls. I want to do them with different highlights. So if I do the rocks using the small one, time consuming I know, but it's worth it without having to go over too much on the rocks. Now what I'm using is that leftover grey, basilicum grey. I'm using that, excuse me, and I'm adding it to the cream. The cream I'm using is Ivory Vallejo, and I'm adding it to it so I can get a specific grain. Now I use a little palette to do my dry brushing. It's called my thumb. What I do is I dry brush off onto my thumb. I seem to be able to regulate it, knowing through looking at the contour of my old creased and calloused thumb that how much is coming off and to what level I need to get it to. I'm not recommending that you do it, but I'm just saying that's what I do. And now I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to do the front surface. Just trying to glaze it over, brush it over the surface of the rocks. If you get too far down, it's not a problem, don't worry about it, as again it can get sorted. Now I think that looks quite good already, even if it is going over the bloodied parts. Try and avoid that blob of blood there, because the blob of blood I'm going to do in a glowing yellow highlight, yellowy, orangey red, pinky red, yellow highlight. Now I'm going over the skull a bit, because skulls do show through there where it's drying, where the blood is drying, it does show at the skull. So I don't mind going over that with the ivory dry brush. Now I've gone on ivory. I didn't want to do too much of a white because it kind of spoils the aesthetic of the rock, because they're not white. I think sometimes you can make it look too unnatural by using the white. So an ivory does work better. Oh, you can go over the rocks there, get the edges. Try and hide this blood part here. If you do go over the blood, it's not a problem. Don't panic. Right, now I'm going to go one step lighter now with this dry brush, again using the thumb, get the excess off. Not too much. And then we're going to just raise some more finer areas of the rock edge. Making sure they're ready to receive a wash to just change the colour on them slightly to offset it from the colour of the rocks. I've got on the blood a bit, but it doesn't matter. Okay, that's the rock highlighted. I don't think I need to do any more to that. Nope, that's pretty snazzy. Okay, now we move on to, because I think this blood is dry now, so I'm going to do using ice yellow with, oops, picking stuff over, with a luminous fluorescent yellow and the fluorescent goop that we'd made earlier, and I'll add fluorescent here. Excuse me, I'd already shook it, and then some ice on there. I'll show that one there. Right, so I'm going to get a mixture of that into there. Looks like a peach sort of colour, and we'll change that with a bob of this. As you can see, bob of the ice yellow. Now I've put too much on. Might need a dab of, I need to darken it down a bit more, so if we go with a bit of a squirt of orange in there, sorry, fluorescent red. Yeah, that's better. You can see there what sort of colour I'm getting. There's a lot there to get off the brush. Okay, now we're going to dry brush carefully onto just the blood. Just grazing the tops. Don't worry if it looks a bit too drastic. It's not a problem. We shall be glazing this once again with a red glaze to dull that down and bring it back to red. Okay, that's that. All it needs now, so just do a bit there I've missed. All it needs now is a glaze to break the colour down back to the deep colours of red, and once that's done I can just paint all around the edges. I'll just glaze, actually while I'm on this video I'll do the quick glaze of the very quick glaze of the skulls. Just get my brush. Wrong. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll go over with, this is Seraphim Sepia, bit of water, so it runs over smoothly. I'm just going to add a bit of bone-esque colour to them, staining them slightly so they look more bony than just white, like that. If you can tell, yeah, you can sort of see there. Don't want to overemphasise it. That's the beauty of highlighting everything first and then glazing. Some people like glazing, some people don't. I love to glaze. I think glazing gives more of a, I think it's a bit more forgiving in relation to trying to get that highlight right and the colour right. Rather than spending hours and hours trying to layer up highlights, you can just simply go in with the white, not knowing of course which colour you want to go with. I mean, if you look at that now, that works perfectly with just that wash glaze, and now they look like skulls. But yeah, like I say, it's more forgiving in that respect. Right, let's just do that. I forgot to do that one little. Let's give him just a little bit because I want him to look like a bone. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a glaze of red. Now you can use Blood Angels red for this. Just simply really water it down. Or you can use, which is what I'm going to use, is a really old paint. But we'll try this first, let's see what it does. Really water that down. So it's just literally a stain. And then we're going to go over all the blood areas. And pop that blood back out again, as you can see. This way we keep our highlight, but we don't make it look too saturated. Need a bit more. Water to it. I'm gonna just go over a bit around the edges just to then add a bit of water to smear it in. Gives it like a kind of smearing of blood. And get a bigger brush for the flat-headed one for this bit. Bit too deep there. Some more water. Just splash that down. And then we'll just get crazy with it now. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm saying that's finished to a degree. All I've got to do now is just fix the edge of the base by painting it black again. I think what I'm going to do there is I shall finish the edge off, and then I'm going to do a glazing of where the blood is. I'm going to do a shiny gloss varnish, so it keeps it shiny and looking wet. And I'll do that, and I'll do that off camera, and because it's just a simple case of going over it. Nothing really technical to show you in regards to painting over that and doing the base, and then I'll show you the finished result. Okay, thanks for watching on this section, and I'll see you on the end result section. Thank you. Okay guys, and there we have it. This is the finished article. I will note that I did forget that the customer who requested this base be done did state that he wanted snow on his base as well, so hence the reason why I've added some snow to the base to give it that snow effect on the rocks. So yeah, sorry you didn't get to see that. I'll probably show how I apply snow in a later video of another sort that I do. So but aesthetically I just wanted to show you how I got to build the base up. Snow is quite easily applied anyway, just as providing you use there's the Vallejo environment paints, which I used snow from that. It's a very good application for snow. When you water it down, it gives you, well, not water it down, if you blob some on and then apply it by dabbing in with water, it smooths it out and makes it look more frosty rather than just big blobs of snow. I've applied it to the tops of the skulls as well, just to show that snow's nestled on there as well. But the blood essentially is heating that snow up, so therefore none is on the blood. So yeah, so there we go. That's the finished base. I hope you enjoyed these videos showing you how to achieve this look. And hopefully you'll get some viewpoints of ideas of what you want to do. And please, you know, use my same technique that I used to do this, by all means, and enjoy making it as well. I'll show you what it looks like when we have the big boss himself. Now, I didn't paint this model. I'm just doing the base, obviously. I'll show you what he looks like when he's sitting on the top. And there we have it. Obviously the guy will glue that in place when he's done, and that's what that will look like. Looks pretty funky, eh? If you want to see more pictures of this, please visit my Instagram page, Khorne__creeper. I'll show an image of that on the video. Yeah, visit my page and you can see properly in it and some better photos I'll have done with it later. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I really do hope you've learned something from this, or at least got some joy out of watching this video. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to showing you some more videos of my hobby adventures. Thanks for watching. Bye. Right, guys, I just want to give you a little shout out for a friend of mine who's got his own channel. It's Get Midlander Gaming, and he's getting ready his next video to show you all. Check his videos out. Cheers.
Next time on the Crime Creeper channel, he'll be painting miniatures from the Napoleon times.